Welcome to Aligned and Alive, where we move beyond the surface and into your deep knowing. I'm Shyane Montgomery, and this is your space to trust your intuition, clear what no longer serves, and rise into your highest self. Your wisdom is already within. You're here to remember. Welcome to the first episode of 2026. How are you feeling, my friends? I love this energy that's coming in. Wasn't real sad about 2025 and the shedding of the snake to come to an end. My goodness, it felt like such a year of letting go for me. Letting go of old habits, old patterns. And in conversations that I've been having, that's the consensus. Most people that are waking up, that are remembering who they are feeling that in a very big way. And so if you're here joining me on this podcast, I know that that's what you're feeling too. And 2026 is a 1 year. And this year is a magnetic renewal. It's a promising of new beginnings and a return to self. This 1 year is about committed action and leadership, saying yes when you recognize the divine alignment and being in right relationship with what lies before you, even if your voice shakes, even if you don't feel ready. It's about letting your feet hit the ground before the path becomes clear and taking committed action, trusting yourself to figure it out along the way. However you proceed without force. As a 1 year, when the essence of raw creation and initiative ripples through you, you must always remember your grounded center. Take a breath. Move fearlessly, not frantically. Divine timing is still a factor, and you always are invited to discern whether it's your ego or your soul leading the way. Your authentic power is held with integrity, and it is the medicine that our world needs now. Be the light that will awaken confidence in others, rather than diminishing your radiance or molding yourself into an image that others can accept. Showing the world what it means to return to who you truly are. We go first. We pave the way for others who are yearning to embody their truth, but are afraid of the resistance or vulnerability that it might bring. With that being said, what I really want to dive into today and what is coming up for me, because it's something that I need, is holding boundaries in relationship. If we are going to go first, we get to be all of us, not leaving parts of ourselves behind, not cutting parts of ourselves off to be accepted, but really trusting that all of us can be welcome in relationship. And the standards that we hold get to be met. And so I want to share some different ideas, some boundaries, and the effects of not holding those boundaries, what we experience, how we lose ourselves when we're not holding those boundaries. Let's dive in. The first one, coming from the perspective of new relationships. However, it might be checkpoints for those of you that are in relationship. You can really reflect on these boundaries to see maybe where you've lost yourself and where you get to recommit. and come back to your center. And if you have lost your center completely, that is the work that I do. And I'm launching a course coming up in March. It's called A Way of Being, and it helps you find yourself again. So if that's where you're at, know that that's coming up and that's available. All right. So I want to give you a little bit of a background. I've been wanting to record a podcast episode for a couple of days now. I've been wrestling with a little bit of guilt and shame because I lost my center for a minute in relationship, and I'm trying to come back. I'm recognizing this pattern, and I'm like, okay, it's showing up again. And I was feeling some shame, like, who am I to talk about this on a podcast when you're not fully embodying it? And what the truth is that as leaders, the goal is not perfection. The goal is to recognize and witness when we've lost the foundation, when we've lost our center, and pull ourselves back in as quickly as possible. Kobe Bryant always talks about how it's mastering the foundation, it's mastering the fundamentals. And this is life. We are always shifting through different seasons, different relationships, different jobs, different opportunities, different things that we're going through in our human experience. And there will be times that we get off center. But how quickly can we come back to center, back to our values, back to our truth, back to our remembrance, back to our authenticity? I hope that in sharing this, it gives you permission to not always have to do it perfectly either, but to lead yourself back into alignment, taking radical accountability and saying, I'm off course, I'm coming back on, and recommitting to alignment, to truth, to remembrance, to self-expression. And as we do that, as leaders, it gives permission to everyone else to do the same. So we're in this together, my friends. I'm walking my path, you're walking your path, and I trust that I don't need to be perfect to be able to lead you. But I trust that I can pull myself back into alignment when I recognize that I'm off. And I trust that you can do the same. So here we go. Let's dive in. First thing, I move slowly so that my nervous system is clear and calm. A lot of times when there's urgency in relationship, there's codependency. The first part of a relationship is about discerning, not devotion. And we can get those mixed up. In the very beginning, we're discerning. We're observing. Does this flow? Do we have aligned values? Am I respected? They do what they say they're going to do. So the slower we go, the more our nervous system can be on board, and we can have clarity. Number 2, I am not prioritizing a stranger over my routines, friendships, health, or responsibility. You know, the beginning of a relationship, you're so excited and it's fun and you just want to dive in with both feet. But in doing so, we lose what we've created. We've lost the reality of our life and the other elements that make our life whole. Our friends, our health, our job, our service, whatever it is. Okay, number 3, I expect effort and follow through without needing to remind them. This is such a big one because I know what we're looking for, and it's partnership. It's sacred union, not a dynamic of mothering, not a mother-child dynamic. We are not looking for that. And so this requires us to really be in our feminine energy and lean back and observe, discern. What does their effort look like? Are they following through with the things that they say they're going to do? And just observing, and then as we observe, we move accordingly, whether it's closer in or further away. Number 4, I do not over-explain or negotiate my boundaries. If they respect you, they will respect your boundaries. And respect is a non-negotiable. This is how you know. You share your boundaries, and if they're respected, maybe take a step closer. All right. This one might be my most favorite one. I am not using sex, physical intimacy, or emotional intensity to create connection. Whew, this one's juicy. In a world that normalizes hookup culture, we really get to lead ourselves into the knowing and the power, the sacredness of physical intimacy. So if this is a time for us to be discerning of a relationship, and you truly understand the power of physical intimacy, you become one. You create one energetic field. And so it's really hard to discern what's yours and what's theirs after physical intimacy. And so you're really dirtying the lines when you go there early on in a relationship. I know. You're not going to like me for saying that, because there's so much power held in that act. But when you can have discipline and self-mastery around it, it will serve you for the long haul if you leave it out. I know you're going to be coming at me for that one. All right, next one. I will limit text and talking so that my life will not shrink. Now remember, in relationship, we want the relationship to add to our life, not to take away from it. And so the more we can be really intentional with the time that we have together, and go for quality over quantity, the more it's going to expand your life instead of shrink it. Next one. This is going to be another good one. I do not fantasize about who someone could be. I assess who they are right now. Okay, if you're here, if you're on this podcast, what I happen to know about you is you have spiritual gifts. You can see. If you are a woman, your gift is being able to see. The problem is your biggest gift, if it is not held within balance, can also become your greatest weakness. So your ability to see who someone can be is holding you back from what is available to you, because you're missing and you're allowing people to take up space that aren't there yet, when someone that is there could be in that space. This is a big one because we can see. But it's so important that you assess what is right now. You get to be met with a partner right now. How are they showing up? How are they acting? How do they treat you? Next one. I do not confuse attention or charm for emotional intimacy. I don't know a single woman that doesn't fall for charm. And if you have fallen for it before, recognize the pattern and let's commit to not falling for it again. People that overcompensate with charm, all the attention, it is an overcompensation for a lack of emotional maturity. The next one, last one, is I do not chase clarity. It's staying present and seeing exactly how someone is showing up. What are their actions? How do they treat you? So we're not going to chase words in what they're saying. We're going to observe and be in the moment and see what is now. Yeah. Yeah. And the man that wants to commit to you will make it very clear that he desires what he desires and where he's going. That would be a man in leadership, not making you guess, not making you wonder, but is very clear about where they're headed. So you're not having to chase or ask. They will make it very clear. My friends, the reason that this topic is so important, because this is a place as women, we have huge hearts. We have the ability to see. We have such capacity to love. But so many times we give it away, and that love comes at the expense of ourselves. And so by having these things in place, it really allows us to not sacrifice ourselves, not betray ourselves for a relationship. And that's something that I've witnessed time and time again. My own patterns that I've worked through is wanting connection and wanting to be in connection and losing myself, betraying myself to fit in that connection. But the problem is the betrayal already happened. I had already disconnected and lost myself and looked for it outside of me. And so these guideposts, that's ultimately what they are. They're guideposts so that you don't lose yourself in relationship. Because if we're going for longevity, if we're looking for sacred union, and we want to be met in partnership, it has to be a win for me, for him, and for us. Love will never ask us to abandon ourselves. So these are the guideposts, these checkpoints, so that we make sure that we haven't lost ourself. We haven't lost our authenticity for attachment. And as we hold this, as we operate within this, as we hold ourselves together, our willingness to rise in consciousness, in integrity, and in courage, it won't just create tremendous change in our personal lives, but for our families. And it will also awaken and uplift the collective. And I believe that that is what we are being called to do right now, is shift the patterns that we have operated from, to change the way we have been doing things, to claim our truth and remember that it's not a win if it's not a win for everyone. As we rise as women, we are inviting the masculine to rise in their consciousness as well. Not by nagging, but by stepping into higher standards that we're holding, so that the masculine and the feminine can come together in sacred union. So once again, it starts with us. We lead ourselves first, and then we are met. My friends, I have a free gift for you. If you go to my website, you can download an 8-minute grounding meditation and alignment. It's so powerful. I want you to have it. You can find it in the show notes on my website. And thank you for being here. If this added value to your life in one way or another, please share it with a friend that may have a tendency to be a people pleaser or to not see her own value. And together, we rise. Trust your knowing. Take bold, courageous moves. Honor your energy and rise into who you're meant to be. Feel free to carry this alignment into every step, breath, and conversation. If today resonated, send it to a friend, because together we rise.